everybody, I'm Jammer and Smash Bros. Remember that game? Smash Bros? It is nearly April, meaning the Smash Bros 3.0 update is right around the corner. I mean, it'll probably be a few weeks into April. I personally expect it to be closer to the end, maybe April 24th. Put it on your calendar. Prediction. Guaranteed. A few weeks back, we actually talked about this 3.0 update and my ideas of what we could kind of expect going into it beyond the obvious character balances, as well as the addition of the first Fighter Pack DLC fighter, being of course Joker from Persona 5. And in between that time and now, there's actually been some data mine looking into some of the code and the stuff getting ready for the update, I guess. There were some certain file names that kind of led to certain ideas of, you know, what we could expect in this update, validating a lot of the things I said in that video. Basically what I'm trying to say is I was pretty much right. Home run contest, something I spent a big majority on talking about in that video. It seems like an easy shoo-in, and these findings also back that up, saying that a home run contest or some form of that might be making it over in this 3.0 update. And that only makes sense, right? But one thing I failed to talk about in that video, that a lot of people in the comments of that video kindly reminded me of. Of course I don't know what happened. I literally just didn't even... went right over my head. This data mine might be indicating that Stage Builder might be finding a return here in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't know how I forgot about it. Maybe just because, you know, you just Stage Builder, it's always been forgettable, right? So that's what this video is about. Talking about Stage Builder, how it appeared in the past, what elements each game brought as the iterations continued, and what we can hope and expect if it does in fact return here in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with this 3.0 update. Let's get started. The whole idea behind a stage creator is it's very innovative. You know, it's giving the players the opportunity to create the stages that you play on in Smash Bros. Like, on paper, wow, that's a great idea. Thank you for that, Mr. Sakurai. However, after implementation, I still don't think they found their mark yet. Let's start where the mode was first introduced back in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In this game, you could choose a small, medium, or large stage layout. This would affect how the blast zones are on the stage, as well as how many parts you can actually fit in the stage. Because as you'll later see, when you put down certain objects, platforms, hazards, whatever, it'll fill up a meter. Once that meter's full, you can no longer place platforms. To kind of prevent over-cluttering, as well as the, you know, the Wii not crapping out because you put too much stuff on screen. You could choose between 3 different themes for your levels that would affect the background, as well as elements you could put in your stage. You had your foresty, whatever, you had your ruins, whatever, and then you had your space, whatever. Beyond that, you could choose the choice of music that could play on the stage. You could pick any song from the game. Only one song, and it would, no matter what, when you play that stage, it would always play that song, but you could choose any song to play while you play it on the stage. So if you're trying to recreate something from a certain game, you could try to use music to kind of enhance that immersion that you're playing a Kirby stage. Or you can try. The stage builder was grid-based, where you would take square blocks to kind of build out your platforms, and there'd be different sizes, there'd be different angles, there'd be staircases, there'd be platforms where you could fall through. Each level theming had their own versions of different kind of obstacles, like there's, in the ruins, there'd be like little houses and stuff, the forest would have little trees and nature stuff, and the space thing would just have space stuff, metal boxes, gates, space stuff. And then standard across all things where there's a certain kind of tools or hazards you can work with, like springs, rotating platforms, moving platforms, conveyor belts, and stuff like that. There is a lot of options here to work with, but as you can clearly see, at the same time, you're also very much restricted in what kind of layouts you can even make. You know, you kind of have to puzzle piece it all together, kind of fit each object on the grid, getting your layouts. It's just, what? It worked, I guess, as a mode. I mean, some people may have used it more than others, but I made one level and then never touched it again. It was kind of cool that the game actually encouraged you to create and play these stages. The more stages you would create, the more you'd actually unlock more parts to put into these custom stages. But at the end of the day, these are all just kind of just generic level. But that's okay, right? Because in Smash Wii, when they brought it back, oh baby, you never saw this coming, right? Now you can use the touch screen to draw the level however you want. I know. This is what we've all wanted. You can make any level you want, just draw seamlessly and create the perfectly designed levels, right? But you want anything else besides that? Sorry, no, that's it, sorry. In Smash Wii, when the stage builder returned, a great improvement to the whole layouts of the stage. You can now free draw whatever kind of objects you wanted to build. But in the same way, kind of limited things. You know, all the interactive stuff like spikes, ice blocks, ladders, you name it. Yeah, no, that's not a thing anymore. But we have cannons and lava. That's it. While Smash Wii U did bring some improvements to the idea of a stage builder, it got rid of all the fun gimmicks that Brawl even had. So yes, it improved on being able to make some platforms, but it also was a hindrance at the same time, because if you couldn't draw a straight line, geez, you couldn't have a straight platform. Are you noticing a trend here? I hope so, because Super Smash Bros. Just hasn't had the best of luck over the past 2 iterations of the game with Stage Builder. It's just been kind of at best. Take 1 step forward, but also like 2 more steps backwards. Never really becoming a great mode, just kind of there. And I think it's such wasted potential. Being able to create custom maps, maybe if you're like making certain mini games with your friends, like that is a really cool concept and an awesome inclusion in Smash. It's just never been implemented correctly. So if it does return here in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, maybe this is the opportunity where they can really take advantage of this mode and combine the best parts of both iterations of this mode and hopefully make something that actually works. The free drawing could definitely be brought back, either using on the touchscreen or handheld mode, or even just being able to draw off the control stick. Maybe selecting certain points on the screen and then it will draw a platform like that. Maybe still have certain kind of preset blocks you can still kind of design levels around, so that then you don't have to completely rely on only drawing how the layout of the level looks. Bringing back the interactable objects like springs, spikes, ladders, and all that kind of stuff that you can see typically in regular stages, because it adds variety to the levels more than just, you know, lava and cannons. But beyond all that, there's one thing we're kind of missing here. There's something that they have in common that nothing of the rest of the game does. And honestly, it's the fact that it has nothing to do with these characters. They're just generic levels. I don't need to tell you this, but Smash Bros. Is all about the crossover of all these series, all these characters of Nintendo and third parties coming all together in one big fighting game. It's a celebration of gaming. So when you go to make a level, why are we using just generic random metal pieces or cave pieces or just drawing grass? Aren't we playing a game where Mario and Zelda and Donkey Kong and Simon and Sonic and Bayonetta and Ryu and Cloud and Captain Falcon, they're all in this game together. So why are we fighting in an elevator? I think the biggest improvement they can bring to a new stage builder mode in Smash Ultimate is the addition of bringing over some objects and characteristics from the different series represented in Smash Bros. Whether that be like a mushroom block from Mario, or the galaxy stars you could jump out of. Maybe Donkey Kong, you could have like a spawn point of rolling barrels, so then you could kind of make like a Donkey Kong arcade level. Kirby, maybe those destructible star blocks that kind of respawn after time that's on greens and stuff like that. There's so many iconic examples throughout all of the series here represented in Smash Bros. That they could use as easy tools to put into the stage builder. It would be a great way to give these user-created stages a little bit more personality besides, yeah, it's like a forest thing, but you could pretend it's kind of greens. It's kind of a Kirby thing, you know? Or like, you know, I know this looks nothing like Metroid, but like, it's kind of metal, and, you know, Samus has metal. So it's kind of Planet ZB's. Just kind of, you know, if you look at it. But there's another thing I want to talk about with stage building is kind of building a community behind it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting anything of the sort of like Super Mario Maker, because the game itself is designed around user creator levels, sharing it with people, playing it. That's that package. Smash is Smash. You know, you fight with people, you play online, you fight with friends. It's not about building stages. But I feel like they could still give it a little bit more life to kind of give it a more active reason for people to actually play them. Smash Wii U had the option to be able to share stages, but it was just kind of just like random. It would just show some random stages on screen. You could try to search stuff, but they'd all kind of like suck. I think it would be really cool if they could kind of build some sort of online community to be able to share and maybe even rate certain levels. Perhaps for every stage you upload, maybe there'll be a counter for how many downloads it actually has. Maybe people could leave reviews. I mean, while the online sharing isn't a necessity as far as feature goes, I think it'd be a really great addition to kind of put more purpose into stage building, but also make it so there's actually a community of active people making them. I think if this 3.0 update does in fact bring stage builder, it'll be a quite ambitious update, but perhaps maybe that's what this big focus of the 3.0 update is around. Home run contest, as we talked about before, is an easy shoo-in. Don't even worry about it. Character balances, as well as the addition of Joker, that's already been what the team's been working on anyways. If they plan to be bringing any other big mode alongside this 3.0 update, this is a great addition they could bring over. To kind of recap, you know, I hope they would bring some elements of what worked in Brawl. Preset blocks, stairs, ramps, stuff like that, where you just can kind of easily throw it on the stage and not have to worry about drawing off every inch. But also including the kind of drawing that came from Smash Bros. Wii U, but instead of making it more free form, maybe still include the free form on touchscreen and handheld or just with the control stick, but also give the addition of maybe just setting points, a line draws between them, and then you can finish that shape. Beyond that, I hope, of course, a lot of the interactive stuff that was in the Smash Bros. Ball creator, like ice blocks, springs, spikes, ladders, you know, just stuff to do in the stage besides just being platforms and walls. Level themings, I'd love to see them do more than just the 3 standard stage themes. But going as far as that, get rid of these generic stage themes. This is the biggest gaming crossover in history. Why are we using generic Unity Asset Store trees to be as platforms? You have a giant catalog of series to take these characters, to take platforms, to take level layouts, background elements, to incorporate into a stage builder. I think this would be a great place to take advantage of that. I don't want to be too over ambitious, obviously, going into this mode in whatever form it might take, but I think it would add a lot of personality to these levels and make them feel like more part of the game rather than this weird offshoot of a, you know, these are kind of generic user-created stuff. Because I do think user-created stages do have a place here in Smash Bros., especially if you're making your own made-up little rules, you're making little mini-games and stuff like that, you know, creating a custom stage to better fit the rules of whatever game you're trying to make, you know, that kind of works out. It's really all about the developers helping provide the tools to players to express their creativity and hopefully be able to share them with their friends. But what do you guys think? Do you expect Stage Builder to return with the Smash Bros. 3.0 update? Let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a big, awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!